at the end of the day, don't lead that person on. You understand what I'm saying? Be honest with yourself and be honest with that person too. So you avoid hurting yourself when it's time for it to be apart, because you're saying that at the end of the day, you don't want that person anymore. You understand? Because of that spiritual level.
That's my biggest problem right now. Because I have met boys, right? Even Adventists. But I tell them, hey, my standards are this with God, and if you can't respect that, I don't want to.
Exactly. Don't go in and trying to say, okay, I can get that person to the level.
Honestly, in this circle, like as you're studying medicine, there's a social pressure to be in a relationship. And you don't have to, it's okay to not be in a relationship for the next 5 years. If that's your wait. There's no problem with that.
You need to be able to discern certain things. A lot of times, people make mistakes because they say, oh no, love is blind. Oh no, love is this and that. You cannot be blind. I, on no way in this world do I accept that phrase, love is blind.
My dad once said, love ain't blind, you just got your eyes closed.
Did you understand?
Yeah, you need it, and that comes from you personally. You can't depend on your significant other for that. You personally, you need to know what your standards are. You need to know what you're looking for, and you need to search for that in your significant other. You're not gonna criticize them for everything, for every small thing.
Because there's no perfect
person. Like, she gonna do things that's gonna annoy me. That's how it is.
In other words, there's no right one. That's a myth that we all think of. There's no right one. There's somebody for you. There's nobody made for you. There's somebody that can help you to love.
And they always say, look for somebody. Not just look for somebody you can live with, who you can't live without.
Right.
Because, for example, right, when that's why, like my friends and stuff, I would always advise them, if you're serious about somebody, get counseling. No matter if it's 3-4 years. We started counseling 3 years ago. You understand? And then
I personally, I can't deal with the drinking. I understand that, okay, not everybody has the same idea as me, but that's just one thing I just cannot. But everything else, 99%, check. Money up, tall, this look good, this plan for the future, tick. And that one little thing. And then after I explained to a bunch of other persons, first were like, oh, Olivia, you're making it seem like a... But to me, I know I can't live with that. You understand what I'm saying? And then for me to argue with you, first of all, I'd become annoying to him I'm being there miserable myself every day. I'll be annoying to him, and you would be annoying to me because there's something that I can't. Don't push yourself in the situations. You know, if you're truly not in it, don't go in there. You're making yourself unhappy.
Not going there.
Don't go in there. That's all.
And open yourself. I think the Adventist church has kind of obscured us to what dating really is. I think that you should be also open to meet a lot of different
group
people.
dating.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. We mix up what dating really is.
We think it's me and you.
Yeah, it doesn't have to be. You don't have to get selective or exclusive, as we say now. You in your first year of school, you can meet Spanish guys, black guys, all kind of different people, and enjoy the experience that is university. Because for you guys, we, CJ, myself, Crystal, we would have had the opportunity to experience this in university before. Yeah. Coming here, the culture is completely different. You see two people here, and they basically, when you see somebody in Montemorelos, you're hitched. Basically, that's what I've observed. You watch somebody, and we, me and Olivia, we done. We have kids. So, what I would advise is, like, try to get into that.
But don't rush it.
Vibe yourself. You're young. Yeah. Especially if you're under 25.
And don't rush it.
Don't rush into anything. Enjoy. By the time you finish, but you're still going to be young. You must at least have 2 or 3 months story. Not that you're going to be out, but...
Well, that's true, and that's something that the church doesn't teach.
No, but no, on a serious note,
nothing is wrong with that shit. No,
I ain't looking at something totally different. You can't be just have the one. Yeah. You enjoy. College is not just about learning. It's about learning social skills.
And you see this thing they say about books and boys, don't mix that for primary, that for secondary school. When you're in college, you need to learn to balance your time.
Yeah.
If you want to talk to, because I'm telling you what happened, like my auntie be like, oh, but you tell me books and boys to make, and she's still there married yet.
I know the answer, that's what happened.
You understand? At the end of the day, you can't blame anybody for the decisions you make. And what I would advise is that if you believe that God answers prayer, He will answer your prayer too about your significant other. Trust me, it works. Yeah, you understand? There is nothing wrong in having a checklist. I want black hair, I want this, I want straight nose, I want this, I want
Checklist
that.
is
You
not
understand?
even an
Nothing
option,
is wrong.
It's a necessity.
Nothing is wrong with that
Yeah,
because
You have to.
Yeah,
if
like
God
service
cares
life,
about a thing as a sparrow, He cares about your love life.
And he knows what you like.
Because He knows
Here's
exactly.
what you're supposed to have. Like you have your list of your things that you want to see in your
At least 10
significant other.
things.
But here's something, and here's what Natasha and I call it: pillars of a relationship. Pillars are what sustains relationship. Those are like the standards. Those are like what you stand on. Those few things, your pillars are different than hers. Some priorities that you have that you really need in a relationship, never break them. Never try to bend them, compromise them. No, those are your
According to
standards.
social media.
And that's the purpose to piggyback, not to cut you off, but that's the purpose of what dating is to
Yeah.
show you, to you be able
What
to
the
compare,
person
okay,
is.
me and Roche, we like this, we like that, and then oops, you see a red flag, you see two red flags, and then what is the normal, the healthy relationship is just to be able to say, hey, we are the part we is here
And then
because,
leave
yo,
Roche, check
I
the
can't
video.
do with that. And yeah, but it's supposed to be a healthy relationship.
Yeah.
So we're supposed to all remain friends at the end of the day.
Healthy relationship and not we together 2 weeks and we.
No, I have a question. Do you always have to maintain, like, you have to be friends with them after you finish with them?
Yeah,
I don't
if it's
think so.
healthy, you should be able to.
I believe that if you didn't go too fast, you
Yeah.
should be able to have a good relationship with the person. But what happens is that some people just go tap 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 tap,
Into
and
the-
then you crash.
But here's the thing: what happens?
You understand?
Like,
But
for
friends is a
example,
strong word, eh?
Friends,
When I say friends,
yeah.
when I say friends, I mean cordially. That's what the same person that across the street.
Here's the thing, for example, like once you reach like a certain time period, like you guys got years in and you break up, it's gonna be hard
Yeah.
to still be around each other in a different setting. So it will take time before you can.
It depends on
Shift
it depends on the kind of
Individuals
person the kind
as
of
well,
person
yeah.
you are.
You have to be forgiven.
It depends on the kind of person you are. Women tend to be more cringing to these things than men
Yeah,
do.
men are, that's true.
Right.
Than men are.
Let me tell you, for men, we bust off and we gone now.
Exactly, but
Y'all don't
women,
wait to say, hey, what's up?
Nah,
That time they were like,
women is not the same.
I ain't trying to listen. Speaking of from a man, if I break up with a woman,
Jamil,
I ain't trying to like.
you making a false illusion to a lot of these girls. So I gotta stop you from spreading false information.
Excuse
Okay,
me.
wait,
Because you gotta talk about
What
the
do you have,
flip side. You gotta talk about the flip side about
No.
how a man could never leave a particular woman there.
No,
Jeremy, what?
Jeremy,
What?
let him.
No,
I am finished.
no, because I'm pretty sure we all know a certain type of individual that know that they could be in a bad relationship as a man, but it's like something about this girl. God is man staying there though.
No.
No, but that's
No,
Let's not
push back. We're talking
when
about
you break up with someone,
Yeah,
you
and
have
they
to be
still
friends with them.
can't get over the girl.
Jeremy?
But why you saying this?
Topics on.
Nah, not really, because you saying like you may be able to bust off and leave. You understand? That's you though.
Or
But
you-
not every
No,
man.
no.
That's what I'm saying.
No,
That's what I'm saying.
he's saying that it ain't always
Men,
that way
yeah,
that
all
men
men,
can
yeah.
jump off. He's
It's
saying that it's
No,
sometimes
no.
girls that
Okay.
Jeremy, he's
You be feeling
generalizing
no
to all
way.
men. He's
Jeremy,
generalizing.
Jeremy,
Because the
Jeremy.
average man is like that.
Yeah,
You
Jeremy.
You leave it to your side and dust your boots and they gone.
In general, men could be like, oh gosh, you're sad today, tomorrow, but then you move on.
Yeah.
Whereas
Yeah.
women, years down the road, that's why you break up with men in a text message.
I
In
don't
a
see this as a man and woman thing. I see this as a people thing.
No,
what
no,
I am
it's
saying,
not-
what
no,
I
you can't say
know,
that.
what I
There's
was
different
saying,
genders.
what
You
I
got
was
different
saying,
genders.
regards to what
I will
Alvin
say
was
that, I
saying,
will say
if you date healthy, don't go too fast, too
Fine.
deep, too intimate.
Yeah.
So when you break up, you can move. What Jamir was saying, you could date a girl for 5 years. You can't just move on today or
Of course,
tomorrow.
yeah.
But in general,
You understand,
men
yeah.
cope better with moving on than women.
Yeah.
Because women get attached faster. That's what I'm saying. And that's it. If you know your personality as a woman, if you know you can't handle the moving on, then pray and ask God that with the man you meet is the one you're gonna marry.
And yeah, as Christoph
If you
said,
know you're not mature enough to be dating and moving on, don't date and move on.
because we two are,
very much.
Alana, if you look
I
at the
knew
two
what you
personalities,
Yeah.
Christoph is saying that, okay, she couldn't be with somebody.
I couldn't
unless
do
she
it.
was married. And my personality is different. I could
Because
probably
that's
do
what's
that.
I don't want
expected
to
of us.
Yes,
I
no,
don't
it's
want
not.
to
It's
meet
not
to
so
judge it right
it's
now
not
before I
level.
meet the one. I
Jeremy.
just want to meet the right one. So when
Jeremy,
we're talking
Jeremy,
at one
it's not
time.
Jeremy, it's not machismo. Here's what you need to understand. If I break up with a girl, right? Some men, from their perspective, in order for me to get over, this is my way of getting over it. This is my way of feeling better. I will try to like move my head somewhere else. A girl, she's much more in her emotions. Most of them, right? They will like sit back, think, you know what I'm saying? And most of them, it will take months before it go on to the next
The
nigga.
problem is that you making it feel like men ain't got that same level of emotion.
Listen, that is not what I'm
Okay,
saying.
yeah,
That's
so-
not what I'm
so-
saying.
Jeremy,
No.
interpretation. I think what he's saying is we interpret our feelings differently. So for some guys, their outro would be find that next woman, and on that woman, you call that person the rebound girl. So you go with that girl, and they say bam bam bam, and you move. No.
Yeah, okay,
No.
yes, okay, Jeremy. You got men who won't do that, but
No, he's not saying that you got man who don't do that. He's saying that the same guys who brush off their boats on some girls is one girl who sometimes get them. One girl who is of them going head over heels and they lost just like how a girl is
not
being.
to everyone.
Okay.
Perspective.
This is why the some people when they say that's not you ain't meet that girl yet and you're like
No, that's not everybody. That's not everybody.
no respect, no, it's not like I want to disrespect your relationship with Natasha dog, but I promise you that there's always that one girl out there in the wall dog that when she pass in front of you, that's it for you dog.
That probably Natasha for you.
But the chances of you finding that girl is like a miracle dog. But it's things that can happen in life dog, and you just can't say now as a man
Jamiro, you have to
it's
understand it from
expected
both
of
sides.
us.
Exactly.
You
We all
understand?
come from
Yeah,
different
different
cultures,
backgrounds.
different
Yeah.
backgrounds, different cultures, different
No,
backgrounds.
yeah, of course. Yeah, what you as we learn in what's that called psychology America. If you have a different fun, no, bro. You have a different. Your
And
perspective will be different than love.
Yeah, and you have to understand your
That's
family.
different, yeah.
Because look, for example, my parents. When my parents gonna tell you about how they met, to me it's very boring. In a library,
What book is that there?
Ella White. I mean, everybody has. My mother was always saying, you know, she just knew when she wasn't dating like boyfriend. Everybody has what they could handle, and you will have to be honest with yourself about that, and not just go with what the crowd. Everybody have boyfriend, girlfriend, so me alone can't. And then you end up in problems. You end up marrying somebody you didn't want to marry, or you end up with a bunch of emotions that you don't know what to do with, and you carry emotions from relationship to relationship because you never dealt with it.
Yeah. And especially as you reach that 20s age as a female,
Yeah.
you see only friends that
When
you
you're
can
clocking
marry.
much less, you're past 25 and you ain't married yet. Whoosh!
Yeah,
So when you gonna get your end?
the goal for I think the goal for now is be comfortable with who you are and
Just
let
find what
love
you
find
like.
you. Love will find you.
No,
Because if you're not comfortable with who you are in a relationship, it will be problems.
you gotta know who you are though. Like you
Yeah, that's
can't.
what I'm comfortable.
You
knowing
can't
and
expect to enter a relationship and you don't even know what you want, you don't even know who you are, you don't even know what you
Yeah.
stand for. You understand?
Or what you like.
Yeah. You
So at
can't
this time it's
you
just
can't be
finding what you
leaning
like.
on your significant other. You gotta be
Yeah. Come on, we
I
gotta
mean-
stop that.
Yeah, yo. Like,
In terms of what?
And then I'm trying to find out what you want.
when
Find out who you
I
is.
say
I
more,
think-
like mental stability, like emotional stability.
Okay, you know
like,
why I would beg to differ?
Yeah,
Right?
it depends on where you
Go
coming from.
ahead.
No, you know why I
it
would beg
is.
to differ? It depends on your personality. It depends on your personality because I always had the mentality of my significant other is somebody who used to be able to help me on the most intimate levels. Where I am the weakest, you should be able to help me. If your personality is not up, so you don't want to always be a mentor, you want somebody that's on your level, then maybe it's not for y'all. Because you might have somebody that maybe you have to help them realize how they could be independent emotionally and psychologically, if you want to put it like that. Whereas, if you don't like to always have a project to do, then that is not going to work for all you.
I agree with that, but it's very important to go through a period of time of self-discovery.
Yeah.
I have like this girlfriend back home, born on the same day as her. And a day I sat down and I said, wait now. I said, gee, you ever had a time where you wasn't going to have a guy? Y'all have friends like they're always in a relationship. If you always in a relationship and you never got time to spend with yourself to understand your own thoughts, then you on the road to destruction.
Yeah.
You gotta spend some time knowing who you are. You gotta spend some time with God, strengthening certain things inside your character, weaknesses inside your character. You can't, and a lot of time people normally look for their partner to strengthen that in them, and then you go 2 years, 3
Yeah.
years, and 4 years, and you say, you're supposed to be helping me with this. Like sometimes I would hear women like, oh, you always going to the gym. You said you're gonna help me with my fitness. Like, why you as a female didn't learn to be fit by yourself? Why you have to look for a guy who is fit to then learn how to be fit?
And you know, and then
But don't get me wrong, I'm saying you have to have a period of self-discovery. But then when you enter into a relationship, you'll never get, in your period of discovery, you'll never get perfect.
Yeah.
What God does, He sends somebody to ready iron sharpen iron. And you work and you get better. Female, male, make you get better.
In other words, a whole and a
But
whole
you should, you should never go in saying, I want somebody to make me better.
Yes, you have to know like what you as a person need to do by yourself, what you need to discover by yourself. Like for example, sometimes you can find women who are insecure, like they got self-esteem issues. As a man, for example, you can do everything for her. You can show her that she's the only one. You can love her, flowers, romantic thing. You can do everything for her. But that self-esteem is never gonna go up because that's up to her and you can't do anything about it. You never showed that you were gonna cheat on her. You never did anything wrong. You can be the most honest man. But she just by herself, she don't got that self-esteem and there's nothing that I can do. She needs to work on that and realize.
I understand. What I'm saying is like, for example, Makarius and I, we come from different backgrounds.
That's alright.
Right? His family, chat, called up. My family, you don't know people in the house. You understand? When mommy get vexed, daddy sit down quiet. Okay. His family, the mother and the father going back and forth. So that's what I grew up with. So I'm saying, I might get to know that something is done a certain way. Whereas if you tell me, it could be done like this, it doesn't mean that I am not emotionally or whatever mature. It just means that I didn't know that perspective existed.
Well, that's different.
That's different. But some men see it as, so how come you didn't know that?
That's different.
Yeah,
listen, that's different.
You crossing up.
Yeah.
That is learning different perspective, which is great.
No, but
there's things inside the character that you could figure out for yourself, like God could show you.
I think she didn't explain what she was saying.
I understand what that's saying.
This is what she means. I just explained that to her quietly, that she not related to issues that we become, and she more talking about development, and that's fine.
Okay,
because when you come into a marriage, you have to actually, what I learn is you have to actually separate what you learn, what they learn, and you guys have to build your culture together.
Which is kind of tricky because they said, you don't get married in it. Your families get married.
And from that, you build a different culture.
You build your culture.
Together.
There's certain things you come together and say, hey, there's things that I don't like from Shireen's side. I ain't like that. She don't like from my side. We build our own thing. That's good. Yeah. But there's some females, to come on your point, that is great in that case. But some females, or let's say some males, no, females, I want to use this. They didn't have a kind of father-daughter relationship. It wasn't healthy. And they come into the relationship not searching for a man. They're searching for a dad. Now I've been in something like that. There's no way I could step up to be a dad. It's impossible. To her, she's looking for that specifically. So certain things that she wants from me, gee, I ain't even have a child. I can't even make a decision.
I understand that, CJ.
So
it comes out
it's
different issues,
exactly.
You never know what you never done, it comes out in insecurities and different
so later on, Chris, what I'm saying how dangerous that is, because sometimes it works out and sometimes it's just negative. Because you go into a different ball game. You just want to have a relationship. She wants to have a dad and a boyfriend. I
think that comes back to your family background.
No, but here's the thing, Crystal. Sometimes, and again, women have the tendency of having more issues with this. When it comes to being emotionally and mentally stable in order to enter into a relationship. Let me give you an example. Sometimes, right, you don't know how you feel about yourself. You're dependent on the love of your significant other. And when, God forbid, you guys break up, all of a sudden, you don't know what to do with yourself. All of a sudden, you sad. All of a sudden, you don't want to live.
Because
Hold
your
up.
life was his life. Yeah.
Hold up. Hold the phone. I break up with you and you don't have the will to live anymore. That doesn't exist.
Yes.
I tell Natasha this too. I always tell her, listen, your happiness don't depend on me, you know. Like your life don't depend on me. Listen here, you belong to God. It is my job as His creation to take care of you in the best of my abilities.
Miss making you happy.
You need to be happy. You need to be able to be happy by yourself. You need to be able to know your self-worth. It's impossible that she doesn't know her.
He's not supposed to make her happy.
Supposed to
He's
contribute to her
Yes,
happiness.
yes.
She's happy on her own. And
Yes.
that's the point that I think she's just driving home. You come into the relationship with your
Already
proper
has.
qualities
Yes.
developed. And that's what singleness is. You're
Yeah.
supposed to go around, okay, I hear this in a guy, I hear this in me, I hear this in this, and I'm going to
Yeah.
develop this. Oh, I like how Rashida's do her hair, I'm going to work on that.
Yeah.
Hey, I like how Natasha is dressed, I like
Yeah.
how Crystal is cook. As a female, you
Yeah.
develop that.
My mom
then
say that this generation like to specialize quick.
Yeah.
quick. I see Shireen, I on Shireen.
Yeah.
But if you have friends, if you interact, then you recognize certain things about yourself. Like you meet CJ, you say, hey, you see there's certain things CJ, he too tight, he too rough with certain things, whatever. I ain't want a guy like that. You go, you meet a Jeremy and say, hey, I kind of, hey, I see one going on here. He's a thinker. He's a quiet one. He's a quiet one. But I ain't see him expressing himself. He a little shady sometimes. I'm moving on. So I can take a piece of CJ, a piece of here, and you look for combinations. But the dangerous thing is when we specialize and we don't even know ourselves. That's why I'm trying to drive home
I
here.
understand that.
And she don't say that she's like, I don't want to date, I don't want too much, I just want to find the one. That is not how it's supposed to be taken.
Yeah.
It's okay, but the church, as I keep coming back to it,
Dating with sex, that's the dangerous.
Yeah,
and that's what having friends, getting to know people
That's
well.
going on with
And just
To be honest, like every time I have this same discussion in whichever you group, man, like yeah, it's dope. But the problem is that y'all don't even socialize amongst yourselves in the first place. You understand?
Wait, what?
Like in the sense of like.
Bro, I'm talking from experience. We really
No.
Even in this group,
It's about the community.
I talk about in the sense of like say like I single and I trying to find somebody. I ain't gonna take the time to know everybody and just cool out. That's
But
not
that's-
Because that is what social media has done with us.
Exactly.
I like how done.
You know
It's
what
me
I'm
every day.
No, that's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is though, even though we all come to that conclusion, I talking about like, cause like we've had the same discussions in AYS before. I've had the same discussion, but the problem is that. My problem is that.
What's your problem? Let me hear the problem.
Alright, this is my problem.
Jeremy,
My problem-
Jeremy, don't hit the bush. Hit the first.
My problem is basically like, even though you could say like all of this and that's good, but do we even have like, do we have our own activities in which where we could have these kind of
We, you mean us here?
activities? Not just us here, but
Talking
just
about
talking
church
in the
people,
church. Yeah, I'm talking about in the church, like youth centered activities where these people can socialize. Cause I don't.
Let me
Not
give you an example.
necessarily.
No,
It
I don't
depends where
think
you are.
Not
It depends
necessarily.
where you
The
are.
answer to that is what do I bring on the market as a single man? What is my contribution to the
Let me-
change in the atmosphere?
Let me explain something.
Because if I just not Jamir, if I am just a sex object, right? Being real with you, if I'm just a sex object, I look into bar about 10 years before I reach 30, which is the average young guy mentality these days, right? If that's my I look into get a rated, I look into get a book, you know, with gifts. You understand? At the end of the day, if I'm not thinking out of the box, then I personally, you have to ask yourself personally, what am I doing? It's going at the time where we need to focus on is the church providing this for me and that for me.
I mean, no, because
The age we have, bro, we don't need
You don't need an
we
official.
too intellectual
We
already.
wait for the church to call us.
You don't need an official social thing. You don't need
I
nothing.
remember that thing when
Imagine
we went to
I
their
mean,
parents'
it's
time.
not-
But
it's
they
not-
never have, so
it's
they didn't
not-
have access to
but-
everybody
so,
like
but
we
this
do.
is my thing. This is my thing. Like we just talking shit because we can't.
No,
make
no,
it
no, no,
practical.
No, listen.
I just told you I'm speaking from
Jeremy,
experience.
let me give you an
That's
explanation.
all
Let me
I'm
give you an
saying
explanation.
because a lot of it.
And what
like,
you-
from
Let's
what I see,
say hypothetically we are
That's
all
what I
single
see.
here. Let's say hypothetically we're all single here. I know más o menos how Olivia thinks or how she does things. I know más o menos how Shireen is, how Alan is, just by having these type of conversations. You pick up on certain things. You be like, hey, I like this about her. So
But
you guys.
you're supposed
I
to
don't
have.
agree.
Let's just say you're supposed to.
I
Because
don't
some
agree.
people here and
I
they-
don't
they
agree
ain't
because
know
I can
going on.
portray a
Listen,
completely
wait,
different
no,
perspective.
listen, but that's what the problem comes in.
Maybe Jeremy is the only person here who might know
Listen.
anything about.
Listen. But
So
there,
you're quiet.
listen, but here's
So
something,
you might
Gavin,
be
listen.
No, that's
Here's where the
you,
problem
I don't
comes in.
agree.
Not
Here's-
in
Gavin,
depth. No,
Gavin,
they
but
might
here's-
not know you in depth, Gavin. Every one of us, if
Qualities,
we're
they
really
can't
friends,
hide
we're
qualities,
here
huh?
seeing
But
what's
here's
up.
where the problem comes
For
in, guys.
example,
Here's
I
where
know
the
you
problem
always
comes
come
in.
and sit down here and don't say nothing. If I like a talk to
No,
this person,
yeah.
why would I
No,
not
but
say
Exactly.
anything?
no, but you don't know that about him. That might be the person who he just showed us.
But yeah, okay, listen, guys, understand that, but follow me here. Listen, follow me. Let's say I like an attribute that shit ain't has. I don't know nothing about her. I don't know her past. I have no idea who she is. But I like something that gives me the idea to be like, hey, let
Maybe
me get
that's
to know
something,
her.
yeah.
Let me
I
try
understand
to
that.
see who she is.
And I understand that, but this is my point, alright? When we're talking about learning who somebody is, and we're looking at the things that we like to see, but you also have to remember that we also, before we talk about accumulating what we know as red flags in a relationship, if we don't spend a certain type of quality time, and when I say quality time, I don't mean one-on-one, I mean like what Alden said, or was it you who said group dating? Like if you don't have experiences like that, you can never actually see, and if you don't spend enough time, you can never actually see the red flags. You can never actually see the
But
red
bro,
flags.
no, I feel like if you jump in.
No, but even
But that's an important point. But we speaking about
The individual.
just bouncing ideas off of each other. That quality time, that's specializing. That's what we say in our generation.
We
Quick
jump
to
to
specialize
quality.
to quality time
No.
to learn to look for the red flags. But I'm saying there's a process before that
Because
that we don't mess with.
Yeah.
Be afraid that they're gonna find a next girlfriend, you know? So I forget with you fast because
No,
you might not be
but I'm not
available when
even-
I'm ready.
But
But I'm
that
not-
not to cut you
but
off, but
I'm
that red flags thing, bro. I hear where you go with the red flags thing, but why you from my people is you just find the red flag still coming up on you, don't mind people's not. You never ever reveal all the secrets. The human is able to hide a lot of faults.
that is why.
Yes, don't you they realize, but wait,
That
you are
is-
nasty.
What I always say.
You still look dangerous?
No, what I always say is
But I
that
didn't finish my
you
point
could
yet.
never. Sorry, go
I
ahead.
didn't finish my point yet. Another reason I brought that up is because there's something that they have in psychology. There's something called temperaments, right?
Yes.
Everyone has different temperaments and everyone has different capacities, mentally and emotionally, to hide certain things. There's I don't know if y'all ever know. Everybody knows what a psychopath is, right? You guys know that there's these people who they might not even feel emotions, but they study the correct emotions to give in the correct situations, and some of them are really good at portraying this. Hold on, before you continue, I could even be a psychopath you don't know.
Okay.
Hold on.
Let him finish, let him finish.
I'm not saying that I'm not, and that's a very extreme thing that's a very extreme thing to bring across to bring up to the table. But sitting here, like we having these fun discussions, I don't know anything about anybody from these discussions except for maybe some of their ideologies. That's the only thing. Hold on.
No, I don't correct it.
No, hold on. That's the only thing that I might pick up from these discussions is ideologies, and that's very important because you have to know what ideologies you can cope with. So like there's certain people that I already know that I could never be with because of the ideologies that I see when presented at these meetings. But then if you're talking about if the basis of our conversation is having group activities, socializing, learning from other people to see whether or not they could be eligible spouses, even if we're not actually trying to specialize, even if I might not be trying to be like, okay, I'm gonna be in this thing so I could maybe learn if Crystal is somebody I could really get along with. Like I'm saying that I don't think these what do you call them? These situations are sufficient enough to give me the sufficient information to even make a choice.
But
like
here's the thing, Gavin. Here's the thing, right?
He got to talk on the phone.
I found something in somebody that I liked, right? I saw something like, oh, hey, the way you do things, I like that. So we talk more often. I'm trying to get to know you. There comes a certain point, however, that this person can legit be a psychopath and you don't know that. And that is cool. You guys can be together for a year, 2 years, and that person is still a psychopath and you don't know that.
That's so extreme.
that was an extreme.
Yeah, okay, that's an extreme. But then here's, honestly, this is what I believe in. This is what I believe in, and forgive me if this is wrong. But here's where God comes in. Because
Yes.
God needs to help me
That's
in
what I'm
this.
saying.
This is it's impossible for me to say that I want to marry Natasha one day without me having a conversation with God. You can be a psychopath, but I've been praying for you. I've been praying about you. Kid you not, God does not want me to be with a psychopath. He'll let me know.
That's what I'm saying.
I understand that, but I'm trying to separate two aspects. I'm trying to separate what CJ calls specialization, or we call just general like group activities, or we get to know somebody,
And that's the problem, bro. You're trying to separate it.
yes,
What God designed for us to
Specializing
do
is called-
is have all of these tools in our in our bank of resources to use to make decisions. He wants us to think. God is a God that He doesn't want us to be drones. But at the same time, He wants us to make decisions based on sometimes our experience, sometimes what we see. That's why we have to pray for discernment to make David, before he went out, Lord, shall I go up? He would analyze something and he would bring it to God and say, Lord, think. And then God would break down certain things and say, okay, here's why you mightn't be able to do this or do that. But we have to, what our young people don't do, we don't make informed decisions. When you ask people, why are you with this guy? He is like supportive, and he makes me feel things. They're not trying to be too shallow, bro. Somebody I asked them when I went home, I said, so why are you with this thing?
He's nice, he's
and
funny.
he is, it was our old years, this old years. I said, hey, sis, why are you with this guy? He's like one of the only people who like really fully understands me. And but my mother doesn't really, she'd skip. My mother doesn't really like things. She can't even get 5. I asked her for 5. I said, sis, give me 5. The girl reached by 3, bro. She ain't making, she just like how it feel, bro. We're not making decisions, wise decisions, like planned out decisions.
And I agree.
We just making decisions
I
on the
agree.
fly.
But my point wasn't when I said.
I'm trying to get what is your
what's your point?
No, he was trying to.
No.
I don't like how you trying to separate it, bro.
When I said,
understand what
You didn't make the point yet.
when I say, I'm gonna make my
Yes.
point right now.
Yeah,
I'm
make
gonna
your
make it
point.
as clear as I can.
Yeah.
My point wasn't to say that I'm separating in terms of like these are completely two different things that you can't do one or the other. What I'm saying is, I think it's dangerous for us to say anything as broad as being inside social groups can even direct our choice of spouse. That's what I mean. I don't think we can.
No,
I
bro,
don't think-
no, that's not.
But that's factual.
That's not true.
I'm speaking. Okay, so none of us here could speak from a spouse perspective besides Crystal. Nobody, not Jamie Rose. Crystal not even married. Next year threshold. Crystal ain't jumping yet. No. Check it. This is
5 years.
proven, bro.
This is before you talk about marriage.
This is proven. Let me give you my mom and dad for example, right? Me, my mom and my dad, we have the same personality trait, sanguine choleric, right? And my dad met my mom in a Balanja. It's a camp meeting, young people camp meeting.
Yeah.
And we went to music, she conducted the choir, sexy little lady in front there. He like, who is this? Pull up on her, she ignoring still. No time. Second time, third time, they start youth ministry together. Coincidentally, all of us here, we on the board. They're on the board, they're going for pizza, they're hanging out. Somebody chuck a fire, and they start talking, and then we jump to 2 years later, they get married. This how it starts. So it's not your
2 years
incentive.
later.
Yeah.
Yes, and my story will be completely different.
Yeah.
I'm not my parents. Your incentive to dating is what matters. Not necessarily how you find out about this one. It's what you want to look for. If you're too advanced in it, you could also end up
But
with
understand what he's saying. He's talking from the perspective of what has happened. Like you just by us just talking here, I might say, well, I like Alan, and then I will start to talk to Alan. And 2 days from now, Alan is the best thing that ever happened to me.
Not even.
Like,
even.
and I'm saying,
You started right, but then you went wrong. Listen,
Okay, so what do you mean?
Okay, it's like this. All right. I could be in this group. I'm gonna tell you what I think is correct and what's incorrect.
Use a
all right?
real example. Use somebody.
Yes, that's what I'm gonna do right now. Let's say I'm talking to Shireen, all right? Me and Shireen, we in this group, Shireen's talking, I'm not directly talking to her, we just talking like how we talking right now. And from this group, I look at Shireen and I'm like, the things she's saying and the way how she look, I find that kind of interesting.
Okay.
Let me talk to her. I think that's correct. But what I think is incorrect is to be like, I think she would make a good girlfriend just from this group experience.
No, but that's alright. You thinking so it's fair, bro. That's what I think you have wrong. You pursuing Sharon to be a girlfriend is okay.
Yeah, that's
Sharon
what
can say, hey,
I
bro,
was just trying
I
to
don't
make
really
that-
feel it like that. God bless.
No,
I
think it's not the.
Let me
I
land
was-
the plane.
I
Let
was
me land the
just
plane.
trying to make that
Because
clear.
that's what I know he's saying. Land the plane, bro.
But I was just trying to make that clear because I was listening to the conversation and I saw that could be like a misconception that could be left in somebody's minds. I just wanted to make that clear, like we're not making choices on partners, we're making choices on people of interest when we come into
Right.
it.
Oh yeah.
We all agree on that.
Bro, and that's why we
That's
must
what
kind of
countries
fish
are for you.
fish
Yeah.
around.
No, but I'm
you
saying
should
if
affirm that in your life because
if
none
that
of us
ain't
here will jump out. Like the guys here
Talk nice, I'm a girl.
will like just so and I will just that's psycho men.
Yeah,
Bro, you gotta this girl gotta do all kind of things for me to step forward and say, hey, you will be my girl. You gotta
No, but the reason I said that is just to understand. If in one person's mind that might not have been 1% clear and they might not have been able to work it out, I just wanted to make sure that they didn't
well,
take
you
it
know,
wrong.
whoever that person is, okay, cool.
It's clear, cause listen, dog, I ain't gonna be.
Because it might be clear for some of us, but for some others, it might
You're right. I appreciate that.
I ain't gonna be in here. I see Olivia be like, hey, Olivia speaks so pop 2 days from now. I'm like, hey, Olivia gonna be my girl. I'm gonna marry her so and I know
I
like
know, and you
Like-
might call them young niggas. You see them young niggas just do them things. I'm not wrong crowd here, bro. Well, I know everybody here. I know you. But from come on now.
Yes,
Is
sir.
that man out here still single, bro?
Yeah, and that's why I say I don't exactly believe in this thing that say, oh, love at first sight, thing.
Oh yeah, that's
What
a
I believe in is, listen, it takes time. I need to know who you are, and I need to make a decision and be like,
As best as possible.
yeah.
What I was saying,
Love is a
is
growth
what I was
process.
saying, when you pray and ask God to show the right person to when hard times come, you don't know if you have to know that God led you to this person. So if you have to work it out, first you have to work it out.
Listen, and then,
If you didn't ask, consult God, you always be, well, maybe I make a mistake and you're jumping in and out and you know.
it's something that you need to understand. It's something that you need to understand. I always see the same thing. Certain decisions and choices that you make in your life, you can't, like, these decisions are so important. Love God, yes or no, your career and your significant other.
Ooh,
That
that's a big
means,
one.
listen, those three choices, hey, if any of these three go wrong, you're unhappy now.
No, we had a talk about that before.
If you ain't got God, you're unhappy. If you don't like what you do, what do I wake up in the morning for? I don't like what I do. Your significant other, you can have God and the best job, but if your wife is
No. We just
from hell
God
straight,
could change her.
no, but listen, Crystal, don't do that. Crystal,
That's 7 days.
Don't
What
get me off
you
that.
changing more? Easy
Here's what you need to understand.
Oh, okay.
In order for you to make that informed decision, in order for you to know what is the right thing to do, you have to have God. There's no way we're gonna have this conversation without involving Big G. You gotta have God in your life. God is the one that's gonna show you. Because in many situations, for example, people who've been hurt before by people, like, I trusted her, I thought she was the one, and bam, she cheated on me. Yes, it's possible. It's possible. I can be with a girl for a year and she cheated on me out of nowhere. But my son, that's where prayer comes in, where faith comes in. Because I know, hold up, let me finish.
I'm sorry.
I pray and I ask God, I like this girl. God, show me if she's the one, yes or no. If you show me she's the one, I say, God, protect my heart. Protect my heart. I'm out here. I love her. I'm telling her the truth and I'm asking her to be honest with me as well. And I'm praying and hoping and knowing that God will be like, hey, listen, she's the one. And if she's not the
God
one,
will let you walk down the path.
yes.
And
For you
bounce
to
your head
learn.
in a
Sometimes you
circle.
gotta get heartbreak.
But
Sometimes
wait,
you get
is
heartbreak.
it that God wanted to do like that, or you put God
Right.
answers in
No,
your
no,
mouth?
sometimes God.
Sometimes you preach some just with love,
you
eh?
put God
If
answers
God
in.
could send Hosea with a prostitute, He could send you with somebody wrong.
Yeah.
Don't give me the, you know, Adventists like to do the.
Hosea wasn't wrong. We think that.
No,
she
what
was
what
wrong.
I'm saying, if you
Yeah,
send somebody to anybody here wants to marry a
You think
prostitute,
She
we
not
think
wrong,
that
but
she
it's
was
not
wrong for
point.
him.
It's not point.
But if God wanted, then how can it be wrong?
It's different. It's
How can
different.
it be
I think
wrong?
what Krista's saying is different.
Hey,
When you pray for something
When God
and
sanctions
God
it.
provides,
Hey.
and when you choose something and then no, it's different. When in that Hosea case, I think that God provided that situation for Hosea to save him.
Yeah.
In the other situation, vice versa now. In
so-
today's date, we choose, okay, I want she, and
God.
then
And
oh
then we
God,
ask God.
yo,
Then we
God, you
ask
okay in this
God.
2 years down the road? God, you okay in this situation? So just remember that in our mistakes, God could allow a bad situation to come
Yes.
first.
Yeah.
That is what
No,
we take away
but
from
I
that.
am saying the opposite of that.
Yes,
I am
yeah.
saying, look, okay, let's take away Hosea. That was God's will.
Yeah.
God sent the
But that's-
Israelites straight to the Red Sea, bro. If you watch the terrain, there was an other way where they could have gone to Canaan
Easier
shorter.
way. Yeah.
Shorter. Why did he send them to be trapped where the army coming on them and the Red Sea here? Why he did that? When there was an easier way. Sometimes God will send you down a path, bro, to teach you an important life lesson. Especially when you're young, bro. Especially when you're young. So I believe that sometimes, like some people genuinely, they fall in love with each other and stuff like that. I honestly believe. And they try to do things the right way. No sex, no thing. They try to date the right way and that kind of thing. And they try. And coming out from that, God teach them, hey, there's certain things that we can't deal with. And they turn around after and like thank each other. I know people like that. They say, hey, if I wasn't with you, there's a lot of things I learned, good and bad. What led me to my actual person.
And that's why
And that's relationships.
That is maturity.
And that's relationships that make sense. That's
exactly
relationships that make sense. You understand what I'm
Let's
saying?
jump in from
That's
Tom
what
and
I'm
Tom.
saying. Yeah,
They're taking things positively from the situation.
You
Before
can
I
turn
leave,
back
I
and
want
you
to
can
ask a
say,
question.
yeah, you go ahead, bro.
Before I leave, I want to ask a question.
Closing.
From the more experienced people, because I think that experience is valuable. Do you guys, from your life experience that you've accumulated thus far, do you think that two people who by no means should be compatible but have the right mentality and the patience can develop in a relationship and become compatible?
It
And
depends on what is compatibility.
What do you mean?
I can't say yes. It depends on what
such
is.
as contradicting upbringings,
Yeah.
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 Of course.
Because
contradicting.
you
Bro,
remember
it's
when you
proven enough.
get
Hey,
married,
what's-
it's
what-
Let me
really
tell you
easy.
something. Let me tell you something.
In arranged marriages, that's proven, bro.
Let me tell you something. Natasha and I are a living proof testimony of what you're talking about. She and I are from different
No,
backgrounds.
I mean like when you started the relationship, things were like you weren't even like Adventist, nothing like you
It's
both
because
started-
That's different.
But
That's
it's okay,
spiritual. That's
that's
spiritual.
No,
man.
when you're talking
That's
about arranged
spiritual, man.
marriages.
Yeah, but I mean like you started
Basically.
off in the
Because
wrong
in
place.
the West we don't
You
do that.
started off with the type of people who should not even be in a relationship.
Okay,
You
so
talking
West,
about
a
like if she
household
wanna
then.
have
But
kids
then-
and you don't wanna have
No,
kids,
but
I think
serious
talking
about
about
that.
No, he's talking about like,
I came into
like
the
guys,
church.
like south is to the north, like that's the
but
kind of,
then-
and they had the right
but-
attitude
but, yeah, they
with
both
God, and then they
combined
work. That is
and
arranged
they both
marriages.
move to become. Do you think that's possible? Like they both had the right
It depends.
mindset.
Yeah, it depends.
Do you think
My
that's
response
possible?
Nah, that's different then. That's
I
different.
can't-
That's arranged marriages.
I don't know.
In
I
the West, people don't mess with that at all.
That's a
Once
good
a girl, I am south and she's not. Listen, you stay in the north, I'll stay in the
Yeah, that
south.
opposite attract is for team.
In the north, we don't. In the West, we don't mess with that, bro.
No, not
but
really.
on a certain side of the world, you come into the marriage first on obligation. Well, what's up?
No, I just want to know.
I just asked that question
Yeah,
to
bro,
society.
bro. On some parts of the world,
What
you go
access
into
I
a
know.
marriage for family honor,
access for me.
for respect,
You
for
are
tradition,
not the father.
love all the way down on the list, bro.
Yeah,
Love.
yeah.
Sometimes you can't even see love. You
Yeah,
learn to
yeah.
be love the person 3-4 years in, bro.
Yeah.
It was nice. Nice mind, nice mind.
Hey, you know what?
Yeah, young blood.
Hey, let us pray before these people.
Let's pray to cause we have a movie to go to.
Amen, amen. John, when you come
Oh,
here,
that's why this one corner course are secret, but she ready to go.
Nah, she ain't good.
Hey,
I know. Natasha and then leave us hanging.
this person was asking for us to pray for her mother because he's very sick,
I thought it was on love.
and this and this person can't do anything for her because she's far away. So let us pray for this far away sick mother of this person, whoever it may be.
Yeah,
Alright? Who wants to volunteer to pray?
Since you're talking.
What do you mean?
Alright, let's stand.